Welcome to the Fourth Step Podcast. On each episode, we interview recovering addicts and learn their story with addiction. Through exploring personal journeys, we get a glimpse of the depths addicts fall to and their path in recovery. We hope you enjoy the episode. Welcome, everybody, to the Fourth Step Podcast. My name is Kevin, and I am an addict. And with us today is our lovely co-host,
Josh. I'm an addict.
Hi, Josh.
Hello.
And who we have in the studio today is our dear friend. Go ahead.
Anita Addict.
Hello, Anita.
Hi, Anita.
Hi.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
So you kind of know what we do here.
Yes.
Obviously, you volunteered to be here, so you know we're going to work a four-step on air.
Yes.
And like we gave you the ground rules, if you don't want to talk about something, you don't have to, etc., etc. So,
On a scale from 1 to 10, how nervous are you?
10.
10.
Yes.
really?
I could tell. I could tell while Kevin was telling you about the podcast. You're like, we just need to start.
It's a nervous fear. A fear of nervousness. Maybe. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm saying that right.
You're just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd mentioned briefly maybe a fear of judgment or maybe just overthinking everything a little bit.
Well, we're going to try and make this as easy as possible, and we're just having a conversation.
Is there any stories about the fear that you're telling yourself?
Yes.
What are they? Or what is it?
The fears.
Getting it out of the way.
Right. The fears that I'm telling myself. Is that what you asked?
What's
Yeah.
the story attached to the fear?
Judgment?
The story attached to that fear is the monster I was talking about earlier,
Yeah.
who I call sperm donor. And
This is, I'm assuming, the father of a child that you have.
no, he's the one that helped create
your
me.
father.
He's my father. He's
Okay.
my sperm donor.
Okay, got it. I understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
So-
sorry to mislabel.
No, it's okay. Yeah. Anyways,
Your sperm donor.
yes, my sperm donor.
Just going through all of that, the childhood and all that.
And just the
So just
that the memory of him threatening me worse things to happen if I ever let it out. And I have let it out, but fear is still there.
so just to clarify, I'll make sure I didn't misunderstand. You're saying that the fear is reliving maybe childhood stuff through sharing on the podcast, like talking about it.
Yeah. Fear of him finding out because he said he's trying to harm you.
Yeah, kind of like
Is he still around?
no, he finally died. Which,
Okay, so he can't hurt you anymore.
no,
Good.
he can't. I know he can't, but there's still a part of me that is fear of that.
Ingrained.
Yes.
Yeah, I hear.
I got my versions of that too.
Yeah, so do I.
Yep.
Yeah. Right,
Well, we were just talking about it. It's that thing that tells me to not cry.
Yes.
Like whenever I get close to crying, there's a thing that if I don't just completely relax and let it happen, this protective little aggressive, angry version of me is like, you better not fucking do it, dude.
That's a survival mode.
Yeah. You know, and the fear of me crying, it's like no one cares. You have no reason to cry. You know, that's the voice back there, you know. Yeah, and it's like, push it down.
All right, well, let's get started.
I'm really glad that you had eggs when I got here. Eggs and tortilla.
We fed Josh.
You know, I'm learning. I've been eating a snack drawer when I get here.
Yeah.
And what's been happening, I think my sensitivity to sugar is changing the older I get. And so remember last podcast, I was like I was falling out.
Yeah.
I bought an apple, a banana, a protein shake. And then, so the fact that you had eggs and tortillas, and that was just
Perfect.
Yeah, money shot.
Yeah. I learned when Josh and I first started working together,
he'd come over, and I learned that he needs to get fed as soon as he walks in the door. Because he gets these crazy eyes and his fingers are twitching.
It's a long drive here, dude.
Yeah.
A lot can happen in an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes,
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
long.
So he has his own snack drawer in our pantry.
Nice.
Yeah. I have to make sure I keep it stocked. All right. So a little bit of house cleaning. We just want to give a shout out to our friends at the Living Clean podcast. Great people, great podcast, and also the Anonymous podcast. We have done an episode kind of a podcasters podcast. So if you get
On
a chance,
Zoom.
if you get a chance, we have it listed on our streaming platform. It's I think it's just called the Podcasters Podcast, and it has both the Living Clean host and the Anonymous podcast host. So check that out.
Side note, before I forget, before I leave today, let's get that paperwork finished.
So that's on this shout thing.
Yeah.
Josh and I did a thing. So as of now, we are the 4-Step Podcast is a nonprofit, and we are signing the papers, filing the papers to become a 501c3, and we want to be fully supported by the community and the grants that we can, because we're listed under Health and Human Services. Yeah, so we're going down that road.
The goal is to be able to spread out more and be able to get,
diversity.
yeah, more guests, different areas. I think we're gonna start getting T-shirts donated at some point here soon.
Yeah.
We kind of got that in the line.
We have somebody to donate T-shirts so we can get some printed up, and and none of this is going to create a profit for us. Everything that we do is to further and get this platform going.
Awesome.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So now that that's all out of the way,
Thanks for bringing it up.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. Josh and I are excited about it. We want more. We want to get more diversity, so we want to travel around the states, and we've been
Hopefully
able
someday
to do
the
that.
world.
What's that?
Hopefully someday the world.
Yeah.
There's lots of English speaking expats
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Ex what?
Expats, expatriates, people that lived in the United States but
Okay.
have relocated to different areas.
Okay, so now it's all about you.
Yeah. Tell us about all your pain. No, I'm just kidding. We start off with if you can go back to your earliest memories of things that coincide with the path that led you to using eventually. Like, where did addiction first show up? Where was the young trauma that is tied
In
to
your childhood.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the earliest memory that, when you think of how the fuck did I get to using to this point, to your life journey? What is the earliest memory you have that ties directly to that?
Okay. So I know these memories I'm going to talk about. I mentally blocked away until I was 20. And then it,
Oh, how much time do you have?
28
yeah,
years.
thanks.
What's your clean date?
April 7th, 1998.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, my earliest memory. So, the sperm donor, right? I never knew I didn't remember of him until I was in elementary school. This man shows up, and my older brother says, "Oh, that's my dad." And I'm like, okay. And so this other man that's in our home, that's my dad.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And I was like, didn't make nothing. Didn't
Didn't make sense to you?
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was in the second grade.
7, maybe?
Yeah. And so I didn't remember anything, it was like nothing to me, and so until the memories did come out and explode, I will say. But the memories from I was starting at the age of 4, as far as I can remember, about as far as I can remember. And, I I remember this man that lived, which is my sperm donor, lived in my home, in our home. Mom goes to work, and
It's okay to cry.
and so I was forced to watch him rape and abuse other females, and
And you're 4?
I was started at 4, and and it's like after the fact, it was like when I was threatened that I am not to ever tell a soul or something bad seriously will happen to me.
Can I ask a question? Mm-hmm. How old were the women that he was abusing?
I'm assuming they were. I don't know. To me, they were adults. It could have been maybe anywhere from 18 to I don't remember.
It wasn't kids.
I don't know. I didn't see kids unless they just look older. I don't know because I was.
You were
Yeah.
young,
Yeah, they were.
How would you know? You're 4
It
years
seemed
old.
like adults, though.
Yeah, and so he,
Horrific.
stuff that I remember him. We would go like on camping excursions, and I don't know where it's at, but like not far from this camping ground was an ancient cemetery, and he would take it, just me and my siblings, right? But I don't know anything of them. I just know what was for me, and he just scared us, scared me. I'll talk about me. Scared me, and I remember like close to this campsite, there was like a cliff, and like really far down, and he would take me and go like that, and not
Oh,
knowing.
swing you over the cliff?
Yes, and not knowing if he's going to let go and me, but it was fearful. I was scared. And I just remember him laughing and he's like, ha ha, like he enjoyed it.
What a mind fuck.
Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah. And
Okay.
yeah. And so,
Josh said what I was thinking.
yeah. And so also, like, because my mom, I don't remember her I hardly ever remember her being at home because she was always working.
Did you see this guy abuse your mom?
I didn't really I didn't see the abuse to her. No. I didn't even see him to any my other siblings. It was like just to me that I remember. I do know that at the age of 4, I got a hold of his dope, I guess. I'm assuming it's his. I don't know if it was both my mom's or his because I didn't
Right.
know.
I don't think
When
it
you say
matters.
dope, are you referring to like meth or?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Well, it was crank back then.
sure. Amphetamines?
Yes. And so what happened is I was in my room. I had this panda bear. That was my best friend.
Yeah, that's your security.
Yeah. And I was in my room. I went and I got a blade, a bag with stuff in it, and a mirror. And I went into my room, and my siblings were at school. I wasn't at school yet. And I remember,
Because you've seen
yes,
this guy.
I was,
dude.
and
Yeah, forgive me if I say your dad. I'm trying to
yeah, sperm
picture.
donor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so the neighbor found me in the gutter outside, and
Chopping lines?
no, I was
Out.
out.
got it.
I guess I OD'd or something because I was told-
4-year-old doing crank. That wouldn't take
I
much.
think that's
Yeah.
I think
I'm
that's the
surprised-
youngest I've heard of somebody
Yeah,
doing dope.
yeah, and it was just, I mean, because it was in the open, in our house, and I was just playing,
What you saw.
and then so I was in the hospital. My stomach got pumped, and I remember when going home, I was like had fear, like, oh my God, I'm gonna get in trouble. but there was no punishment. There was like, oh, like not clapping, like being nice, being nice.
Okay
for
with
a
you
minute.
doing a Lenny Crank and Odin?
Yeah.
We're proud of you.
Maybe just trying to downplay it.
Maybe,
Yeah.
and and I remember.
Oh, jeez.
So I
Yeah,
remember.
welcome to the party, kid.
Right. So I remember, him setting traps outside of our house and catching wild animals like raccoons and squirrels and stuff like that, and then butchering, like killing them, and having me watch, and it was like that feared me, and I remember. Like there was a time we had baby kittens, and
Don't you dare say
no, it's not like that, but they did die. But what happened is that I was trying to hide them, to save them, and I put them in beer steins.
What's that?
That's like with the
Big
little
mug.
Oh,
Has
and
the
I
tops
put
on
the
them?
kittens in there because I was trying to save them so that he couldn't harm them. And then Mom's like, "What smells in this house?" Da, 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 and they found these kittens.
I've got a pretty fucked up kitten story. When I was a kid, I was a very large kid, and like got made fun for being fat and like overweight. Like I got picked on. I was very insecure, and I'm obviously still a large, but was just
You're fit though.
different now than it was when I was a kid. And we got these kittens, and I had this kitten in my bed with me. I wanted to sleep with the kitten, and the kitten didn't want to be in the bed. And so like I kind of like wrapped my arm around it and fell asleep, and I woke up with the kitten. I had rolled over on the kitten and killed the kitten while I was sleeping by laying on it. And it still fucks me up today. I was like probably, I don't know, second or third grade maybe.
It's traumatic.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very traumatic.
Yeah.
And
Anyway, dead kittens. Good
Yeah.
topic. Yeah.
and then so I had this
Kevin's about to cry.
I didn't mean to. I
you
was
didn't.
trying to save
I know
them.
Josh didn't. It's sad.
But so I have this aunt who is his baby sister, and she like babysat me a lot and my siblings, and I was at her house, and her dog had baby chihuahuas, and it was winter and it was cold, and I said, "Can I sit with them?" She said, "Yeah, no problem." And I put one here. I had my jacket on inside the house, and I put one here, and
And so
sat-
under your arms.
I don't know if it was under, but they were somewhere right here.
Okay. And
And I was keeping them warm. I'm trying to, because they looked like they were cold, and they died in my arms, and I wasn't trying to torture them or anything.
you're a
I was
little
trying
girl. You couldn't do that.
Yeah, and
Was that was the using an isolated event at that age?
yes,
Okay.
yes, and back to that, another incident with my panda bear, my best friend. This time I wasn't doing with dope, but I was mad about. I can't remember what I was mad about, but I got a blade. And I went in my room, and I was just so mad, and I cut my panda bear's paws. And I don't even, to this day, I don't know why. Maybe I wanted something else to feel a pain or something. I'm not sure.
I mean, like, psychologically, it really sounds like your first attempt at self-harm.
Well, yeah, and I did slice my finger open too, but
On purpose?
no, when I was
Yeah, I'm saying.
yeah,
That's
no.
like an embodiment of yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Self-harm.
So those are
Crazy. It's crazy what we do as kids, like not just the extreme the extreme feelings create some sort of reaction, and we don't even really know what we're doing. I remember wanting attention so bad that I had a razor blade and I wanted to cut my forehead and like make up some story about like I got hurt or I got something happened.
So you have attention.
Just feel some kind of affection or something, and I couldn't follow through. Like I just ended up like with a bunch of little scratches because I was too afraid to push hard enough to make like an actual cut. And then I'm like, I can't even fucking do this, dude. It's great.
Yeah.
But it literally, but sort of mindlessly, like it just like these motions start happening because I'm like, I feel neglected or I feel this or I feel that. And all of a sudden as a kid, I'm making these super drastic choices, not knowing any better, you know?
Does that resonate with what's going on with you at this time?
Yeah.
I just share, I only share those things just to relate, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like the other stuff is like, you know, again, mom's not there.
Sounds like she's absent.
She's at work. Because she was, I don't even know if he ever worked or not, because he was always there. And, I remember I'm still between almost 4 and 5 this time. And there was naked bodies running through the house, sexual people having sex in our house. And me, my other siblings in another room, our bedroom, playing spin the bottle, and whoever came to had to take off their clothes, and I remember Volkswagens. We was talking about Volkswagens yesterday, and I didn't know that was the type of car until I started liking Volkswagens. But he had this Volkswagen, and he would put us in the trunk, which is, of course, the front. Mm-hmm. And we would go to a levee, some kind of levee, and he would drive crazy, but then he'd go down a hill, which we're up front, right? And like there's the water, and he would, and it's like we were going in, and then he'd, turn it, and we were okay.
Sounds like he was like really in the habit of scaring the shit out of you. Torture. That's so so torture. So much torture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of cold to say, but he sounds like it's probably a good thing he's not around anymore. Wasn't a very good human.
It is.
Obviously wasn't a good human.
Yeah, so like when I was 6 months old, he was picked up for being the Lover's Lane rapist at Folsom Lake.
Oh, shit.
Yes. He by the boyfriend and then raped the girl and stuff like that. And that was from 6 months till I was 4, because I don't remember anything between of him. I just remember at 4. Mm-hmm. And that's when he got released. I don't know, but further down, which is probably a little bit further down, I could tell you in my teenage years when I could jump up that head. I guess just go ahead and jump up. But I know the times that he were gone, the man that I call Dad, he was not married to Mom, but he was in the home with us, and he was nice, kind, loving. I know my mother disappeared when I was 5 years old. And she was she was gone for a year. Supposedly she got kidnapped. But I know now what happened. She's an addict. And she
was on a year-long run.
Yeah. Yeah. And so my grandparents took us in, and my dad, who I call Dad,
right,
was not married to my mother or anything like that. And he would come to visit, and he was safe. To me, he was a safe person. And I remember eventually my dad, he asked me and my siblings if we would be okay for him to adopt us. I said, absolutely yes, because he's my dad and I love him and he took care of me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And so throughout the years, Mom.
Did he get to adopt you?
Yes.
Oh,
he did.
That's a good story. That's cool.
So like my mom was in and out. She left. She was there. She left, and he was there. He stayed with us. This is from when I was 5 until I left home. He was there.
Okay.
And so you were in the Folsom area?
When I was younger, we moved a lot. We lived in Roseville, Carmichael, Citrus Heights,
Always
Lake
in this
Tahoe.
area.
Yeah, Lake Tahoe was when he started that with me, having me watch him torture and hurt other women. And so, yeah, all over. We moved a lot. And then, except I would say probably from the 2nd grade to high school, we only moved 3 times. Only. Yeah. So, so in those, when he was not there, I don't even remember him. And then when I was 7, 2nd grade,
Yeah.
and he showed up for my brother and took brother away, I didn't remember him. I didn't know what he was or who he was, and didn't have no care in it, and until, like I said, it all came out.
Yeah, you had a very large block just
Very.
to survive the trauma.
But I can say that me growing up, I was very shy. I couldn't look people in the eyes. My head was always down. And I realize now even that I was mentally blocked down in my garbage can, emotional garbage can, I call it. But I look back at it now is that I was so shy because I was afraid people would find out.
Yeah.
And then I would be judged. Because I blamed, when this finally came out, I blamed myself. Like I had to have done something wrong for him to do these things.
That's like so common.
Yes.
And then you also know now that it's not your fault.
Correct.
You didn't do anything.
Correct. Yeah. And I do remember, like growing up, I think I only had like one best friend that was a girl, but all my other friends that I had were boys. And I pretty much, was out in the street playing flag football with them. I was out in the fields playing army, and I was doing, I forget what that, you throw darts in the yard.
Lawn darts.
Yes, lawn darts, but I would do everything mostly with the boys,
So you're a tomboy?
Yes. And I know why I became a tomboy, because if I was one of them, I can't get hurt. I know now.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Survival.
Yes. Yeah. And so that was those years, I remember I felt safe, I didn't have no fears at that point in my life. And then I was 12 years old, and my dad and mom split up. Dad he moved out of the home. And this man, the sperm donor, came visiting. And I still, the memory, nothing came back or anything like that. And then he asked my mom if he could take me away for the weekend. And, you know, my mom kind of like, I was like, why? I don't even know who he is, you know? And she goes, well, it's your dad, you know, and, you know, I don't know if she pumped me up, but I feel like I got pumped up, you know, because, okay, he's my dad. I'm going to finally get to know my dad, I thought, you know? And so he took me away for the weekend. He lived in Auburn, and we lived in Rio Linda. And I remember the whole weekend, he raped me. And the whole weekend, I had to stay naked. And there was other men that came into the home. And things were done with other men also. And I remember he would, it was on a Friday, and then on a Saturday, I don't know, he had to go work on something or whatever. And I remember he took me, and I was sitting in the truck, and it was blazing hot. And I didn't want to get out. I didn't want to move. I stayed in that truck scared, not knowing what to do. And then Sunday came, and I remember him taking me home. And I remember driving down 80, and his truck was like a orangish, kind of more like a little darker than that orange right there. And I remember, you know, I'm just sitting, and I remember he's like, look in your mirror. You see that cop behind us? And he says, I want you to know, like he was teaching me the shapes of cop cars so that you know how to get away from them or how not to get pulled over. Or I don't even know why that was, you know, but I remember him taking me home. And I remember my mom saying, how was it? And I said, okay. I said, but I don't feel good. And I went to my room, and I stayed in my room.
You didn't tell her?
No, I didn't tell anybody because...
Shame.
Yeah, like, and not even knowing, remembering the earlier years of my life, and like, why did this happen to me, you know? And so I kept it to myself, you know, and this is where I started on my own to use drugs.
How old?
I was 12. I was 12. And
Tell us about the first time.
so, well, the first time, so my brother, he's an addict, and he smoked pot a lot, you know, and my sister smoked pot, and they both did crank also, but they didn't let me see that they did crank at a certain point. But so I smoked some marijuana, you know, really didn't like it, but it kind of like got me out of my head, you know? And then I remember one afternoon, my brother was living in a trailer outside of our house. And I remember he said, here, why don't you try some of this?
How old was he?
He's 3 years older than me.
Okay, so he's 15.
And I'm like, okay. And he said, Mom's going to love you. And not understanding why, but what happened is it was crank. And so I went and cleaned the house, you know, did all this and that. And that when I did that line, how it made me feel was like I was the ruler, like
I'm the best house cleaner in the world.
yeah, but what it did,
Or like you had control over something now.
yes,
Yeah, I
yes,
get that.
yes, and so with that crank became my best friend because it kept my strength up, kept me strong, it kept me fierce, it kept me bold. It kept me like, ain't nobody ever gonna harm me, you know?
Yeah.
It kept like, was my protector.
Made you feel safe.
Yes. Yes. And you know, and I was able to talk to people, right? And I was able to look people in the eye now, you know? And so this is the answer, right? And I, you know, I held on to that for many years, you know, and I remember through my addiction, people were like, "You're always so happy," you know? And I'm like, if you only knew, if you only knew what was here and in here.
In your
you know?
brain and in your hurt heart.
Yeah. Like if you only knew. And they're like, your life is so good. You never have no problems. You da da da. And
I relate to that so much.
you know, and it's like, yeah, it's my savior.
I heard that at the same time I'm like contemplating suicide. It's like, really? The outsides look that good?
Yeah.
The insides, you're fucking tore up.
Yes, yes. And, you know, talk about suicide. I mean, there was a point in my life, I was like one incident, one of the occurrence when I tried to, well, I wanted, not that I don't know if I tried, but so I was just at my dealer's home and he had a box about twice the size. And he said, "Here."
Twice the size of a Kleenex box.
Yes.
It's funny because you're showing us, but listeners don't know what
That's
you're
right.
doing.
That's right. And so,
Yeah.
and I was like, he said, "Here, I need you to take this home, do whatever you want with it. I need it on my hands." I'm like, "Okay, what is it?" And he just said, "It's some dope." And I said, okay, you know, and you know, prior to that, you know, I was like, and this was after the memory came out of what happened.
Your childhood trauma.
Yes. And I remember I was like, I mean, like, have you ever been to a point of where your head is like screaming and crying and degrading yourself and like confusion all mixed in one and just wants to come out all at once? And I was at that point and I was driving my little Volkswagen. I had a little Volkswagen and I was driving down Watt Avenue and I was like, I just want to effing die. I just want to effing die. I'm done. Why does this ever happen to me? You know, all these things coming all out at once. And, you know, and I'm driving. I'm like, just take me now. I just want to die, you know. And then it was at Watt and Marconi. I was coming up to the light and this cloudy figure and an arm went down like that and went back up and then was gone. And I went, what the fuck was that?
How old were you?
I was 21 at that point.
Okay.
And I was like, what the, you know, it
Had you been up for a while?
probably.
That's what I was thinking. I think
Yeah.
I seen
I
that
probably
same one.
was, you know, and
The week of crank.
and so, oh yeah, I mean, when I would do 30 more or more days at a time, I was like, I didn't like to go down. I
Right.
wanted to keep going, but I seen that and it just, everything was like, there I
Okay.
was, you know, and I'm like, okay. So I headed home and I got home and the first thing I did was called my grandmother who is a church person and da-da-da. And I explained to her what happened and she goes, and I even told her about what happened with him.
Oh, no
This
shit.
is the first person that I ever told. And she said, have you told your mom about this? I said, no, I can't do that. I said, you can never tell anybody I said this or something like that. And then I told her what happened, that I was wanting to die and that I seen this. And she said, that was Jesus. And he told you, stop. That's what she said. And I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah.
You know, I
Not
believe it.
denying that.
Not that I'm on, you know, some people might think you're cuckoo, but I believed it because it was come, from to like that in seconds.
You're trying to describe a peace and serenity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, off the phone with grandma and then I'm assuming she never told her because my mom never said anything to me asking questions or anything like that. But
Is your mom still around?
No, she passed away. But just to back up, when I was 20 is when this memory came out, and I was having these nightmares. Lived alone. I lived alone. I have kids. I had daughters at this point, but they were with their dad because drugs were more important for me at that point in my life, and I lost my home, and I needed to put them in a safe place, and I sent them to their dads. So I'm living alone in this place, and I was having these nightmares, and the only thing I can remember is a man figure and me saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't tell nobody. I'm sorry, and I didn't understand what is going on. Why am I having these fears, And I had a really close friend whose wife worked for a psychiatrist, and she suggested, I told him, and then he told her, and she suggested I go to a psychiatrist or one of those people that get into your, I don't know what they're called.
Psychologist, psychiatrist,
And,
therapist.
And that's where I learned a lot of what happened. And then I quit going there because I didn't want to.
Painful?
Yeah.
Too painful?
Yeah.
Psychiatrist is, they can prescribe medication. Psychologist is for therapy. Is that kind of the difference?
I have no idea.
I think that's the
I
difference.
think it was in a therapy kind of form.
They didn't prescribe you medication.
I didn't come back. After, I don't know, maybe a few episodes, I guess, but I remember that I'm just going to push it down because it was too scary.
Yeah, you weren't ready.
No, I wasn't. And so I remember having that dream again, and I remember getting in my car. I'm going to go to my aunt's, the one that is his youngest sister, and I was driving erratically. I don't know. I could have probably killed me or someone else, but I got pulled over, and the cop said, "Been drinking." Da, da, da. I'm like, no. I said, I'm just trying to get to my aunt's. I'm just having nightmares, and I just need to be close to someone. And so he let me go, and I went to her house. I didn't tell her what the dreams were about. I didn't tell too many people until I was in recovery. That's when I was certain people I was able to tell. And
That's like a PTS dream. Mm-hmm. PTSD.
yeah, and I even had thoughts. I had dreams, of how I was going to kill him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I never did, but so, and sorry, I got to back up just a minute, but at 12, after he brought me home, he headed home and kidnapped a 12-year-old girl, Greyhound bus station in Auburn.
With you in the car?
No, this is after he dropped me off.
Oh, got it.
And then he raped her and almost killed her and pushed her out of the truck, left her on the side of the road. And when the law, because he has a record,
Did they finally catch up with him?
Oh, yeah. Yes. And so what happened is that I don't know, I'm assuming, I have to assume this, but somehow the cops came to where I live and was questioning me because I guess he mentioned, oh, no, I was with my daughter, whatever. But so I remember I had to go to court and testify. And I didn't say anything that was happening to me on court. And I just answered questions and what'd we do, where'd we go? And of course I lied a lot because this man's right there in front of me, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And so anyways, he got sentenced.
You got convicted for it?
Yes. And he got 20 years, I don't know, 20 maybe to life or something. I don't know.
So he went to prison.
Yes. But he asked to see, because my brother had to testify also, and he asked to see us before he went away. And he blamed me for not testifying good enough for him. You know, and
and then you had to carry that.
yeah. And then so back up to where I was at 21, you know, when that memory of all that was coming out, and, you know, and I was on a daily use at this point. It was there. I didn't go a day without using, and I didn't have fears, you know, to a certain point. If I was by myself is when I had my fears, because I would be thinking
Alone with your brain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bad neighborhood.
Yeah. And then so I had some associates that lived in Oakland, and
I like that. Associates in air quotes.
and I would, you know, go there, and we would, of course, get high. We would be in a vacant house cooking up dope and stuff like that. And I remember at one point I asked one of my guy friends, I said, hey, can you take me to San Quentin? Because that's where he went to. I said, can you take me there? I want to go visit this man. And I'm brave now, right? And but when I went there, I didn't go as me. I don't know how I handled. I don't know how that happened, but I went as my sister because we look like twins, and I remember when I went in to the visiting room, he come in and he was like, oh, you know, all excited and everything. I said, do you know who I am? He said, yeah, you're Amy. I'm like, nope. He goes, huh. I said, I'm one of your daughters. He has 3 girls. I'm one of your daughters. And he said, Lena. No.
You had no idea who you were?
He's like, and I said, and that freaking hurt.
Yeah.
Even though I despised and hated this man and feared this man, it hurt that he could not say who I was.
He had so much power over you, but you didn't matter to him at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you know, and I wanted to go, and I wanted to face him, and I wanted to say,
Tell him
you
what
can
for?
no longer, I wanted to say these things, and I wanted to bring up things that happened, but I didn't. I couldn't say anything to him. I just wanted to see what he would say or how he would treat me right then and there.
Yeah.
And it's like like he didn't even know me.
That's a long period of being abused psychologically by this guy.
Yeah.
You eventually, you're in your 20s now, and how long until you get to your bottom?
My bottom, I was 32 when I hit my bottom.
Do you have one clean date?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. I was 32, and I think like most most addicts, it could be even people, but most addicts to me, I hear it a lot that I'm not going to be like my parents. I'm not going to be like my mom. I'm not going to be like my dad. And I swore to that.
Yeah.
That I am never, ever, ever going to harm my children, right? But see, the harm that I was thinking, it was the harm that
Physical?
the physical.
Dude,
the
I did the same thing.
Huh?
Yeah, I grew up getting beat consistently, and I told myself I'm never going to touch my kids.
Yes.
I'll never hit my kids.
I mean, we used to get whipped with, the willow trees.
We had to pull our own switch off the cherry tree in the backyard.
Exactly. And, it's like we would get warned, like, when I come home, you better be ready. And
so 3 hours or more of just living in fear until they get home.
Mm-hmm. And then putting on.
That was my cycle every week as a kid.
Yeah.
Dad's coming home Friday after work, and it's.
Yeah.
You know what else is crazy? I recently lived with my father. He's trying to. He was struggling, and we were trying to help him get it back on track, and it brought up so much shit that I didn't realize I was holding on to. But I have brought up with him before, like some of the shit that happened as kids, that he participated in, and he's like, "That never happened."
Yeah,
I'm just
gaslighting.
Whoa, dude! Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Like so much. I'm like, did it not happen?
Questioning it.
Yeah. So I called my siblings, and they're like, "No, that happened," and I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's happened to me too.
But it's so crazy. Like the denial is so deep that it's like, that never happened. And they believe it.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
It is nuts.
Yeah. And, I remember putting on layers of clothing, waiting. I'm ready. I'm not going to feel nothing. Right. And then he comes home and does nothing. And I'm like, ooh, I was ready for it. I got mad. So.
We had to pull our pants down, so there's no hiding it. Yeah. Get whipped.
Yeah. So back to
yeah, you're on
my
your
bottom.
You're on your way to your bottom.
Yeah, and so my bottom was I had 2 daughters. My first marriage. I got married at 16. Sorry, I was 16, and I had 2 children with him, and then like I said, because we split up. They lived with me, had a very good career. I worked in a print shop, and but my addiction was daily. I used all the time, and then it came down to where you're not paying bills. I'm not paying bills or anything like that, and then you get the addiction notice, and then I'm like, oh God, what am I going to do? And the ex-husband's mother said they should go with him, until you could get on your feet. And I was like, yeah. And that was my goal, is I was going to send them to their dad, and I'm going to get me a home again and bring the girls back home, and, everything's going to be fine. Right? Well, the addiction just took
Another story.
a big force. I was roaming the streets. I was living in motels. It was everything drug related, and then I met the second husband, and then we had 3 boys, and the whole time I was married with him, the first part of it, I think, I forget how long, we was married a long time, but I don't remember how long, but at the start, he had 3 girls, and we didn't have no kids, and we lived in motels, and then his family intervened, and his girls, which even to this day, they still call me mom.
Aww.
And they are my daughters too. I do believe that. And anyways, his family intervened, and they all three went to Arizona. And then what happened is one stayed in Arizona, one went to North Dakota, and the other was.
So the daughters all got split up?
Yes. Yeah. And then so, me and him, no kids, doing dope continuously, committing crimes through the night to pay for our dope.
Right.
And it went on and on. And then so I got pregnant, and we got pregnant. And then before my oldest son was born, the father went to prison, and I had my son, and I was living with a friend at that time, and then I was able to get my own place, and then he'd get out, and then we got pregnant again, and then he'd get back in, and it was like kind of like that. And then, but after the second one was born, he was like 3 years old, almost 3, and my oldest son was 5, and we just had our baby son. And it was a week before he was born, we had a big argument, and I'm sorry, it was a week, it was 2 days, sorry, back up.
I don't think timeline matters on that.
Yeah, so it was just after he was born. He had to stay at the hospital. There was complications because of my drug use and stuff.
Yeah.
And I went home, and we was in an argument. And at this time in our life, we owned a tow company. We had a home, and stuff like that. But we were still
The outside looked good.
Yes, outside looked good. And another argument, and I'm like, I'm effing out of here. And it got in my truck, and I backed out of the driveway. I didn't realize it, but after I got released from the hospital, someone that was at our house said my 3-year-old boy was running out towards the truck when I was backing up, and they swooped him up. And if they wouldn't have, I probably would have ran him over. And I'm like, thank you, Lord. But I backed up, and I remember just as I was turning that way, he hopped in the truck and throwing punches and stuff like that. And I hopped out of the truck, and I went around the back, and he's still yelling, calling me names and everything like that. And I'm like flared up, and I'm like, fuck you, motherfucker. And this is a tow truck that I was getting out of, got in and got out.
Yeah.
And he, it's like hot August day. I had no shoes on, and he started to go down the road, and I started running for this tow truck. And I grabbed onto the side mirror because I'm going to stop this tow truck, because I'm powerful, right? And what happened is that I fell. I somehow, one foot went under the other, and I went down. And this tow truck, how they have the
Tire, dually
big,
tires. Yeah.
Yeah, it went, and then went right on top of me, and I was like,
So
remember,
he ran you over?
yeah, and I remember, I don't know who, but someone got me off because I guess the blacktop was sizzling my skin, and I got taken to a grass area, and then the paramedics came, and I was just crazy, out of control, like I grabbed their balls, and I was just
Paramedics?
Yeah, that were trying to help me. I was just,
Dude, we're
I was
crazy.
fighting.
Can you imagine that?
But I really ain't.
I know you're not.
I'm not, but and then so they take me to.
So if you feed
I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
I'm not, but I have done some
feed her
crazy
a little bit
shit.
of crank and then watch your balls.
Oh my God. Yeah. But so I was, of course, taken to UC Davis Hospital, put into ICU, and I had, not my head, but starting right here, going like this is how the tire, the
So
vehicle
you got ran
went over
across your body.
Yeah, going right there. And so I had a broken pelvis.
So basically at an angle from your left shoulder to your right knee.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I had severe burns. And I remember I remember.
So you probably weren't grabbing balls with your left arm.
Well, they
Strapped you down.
They strapped me. Yes, I couldn't.
After the ball incident,
And
ball grabbing?
I was just wanting to hurt anybody that was coming.
Probably been up for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
I'm picturing like next after people have listened to this episode, they're gonna be at a meeting and they see you and they're gonna go, "Oh, what's your balls?" Anita's here. No, I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. And so at the hospital, remember in the hospital, before I was put into an ICU room, and I remember they induced me into a
Coma?
but I can hear, but I couldn't.
All right.
I can hear
They turned you into a zombie.
pretty much to calm me down, I guess. And
They tranquilized you.
yeah. And I remember my 2 daughters were in there, my sister, my youngest sister, and my mother was in that room. And I heard them. And I remember my sister saying, "Oh, my God, she's dead." They said that I looked deaf. And I remember them, crying and talking. And I remember my daughters, like, "Mom, please come back," and stuff like that. And I remember, I wanted to so badly I'm okay. And I remember, like, consciously I was yelling, "I'm okay. I'm here. I'm not dead. I'm here. I'm okay." And then, and I remember waking up in the ICU, and they still had me strapped and stuff. And I don't know if it was the very next day or a day after. I don't know what day it was, but I remember the nurse said, "There's a lady on the phone that needs to talk to you." And they held the phone to me, and my baby was at the same hospital because he was just born
Not too
days
long.
prior
Yeah.
from that accident. And I remember her saying, we are going to take your baby into custody. And I remember saying something, she's a social worker. I don't remember word for word.
CPS or somebody.
Yeah. And, and I was like, "What do you mean custody? And what are you talking about?" Because to me, custody is like jail. That's what I
Oh, yeah.
pertained
I get
custody
that.
to. And she said, "We'll talk more about it when you get out, da da da." And I was in there for a month, and I remember leaving, and I'm going to that home that I was living in, which everybody and anybody was using the drugs except my 2 little boys. My teenage daughters at that point were using also. And but I remember the whole month without drugs, right?
Oh, yeah.
I could do this. I'm going to go home and I'm going to do what I have to do, and I'm going to get my baby home, right? And I was wheelchair bound, because I couldn't walk because of my
Broken pelvis.
yeah. And so I'm like, I'm a crankster, right? And we like to get up and go. And like, that's insane, right? To use crank and can't get up to do anything, right? And I, and they would come to my house. They would bring the baby there to visit. And, they say, are you clean? And I'm like, "Yes, I am." And I was very proud of it, but I don't know how much longer, but I remember I was still in my bed, and I was IV drug user, and I put my arm out and I said, "I want to hit." And, and it was like, insane, because instamatically is like, okay,
That's a good word right there, systematically.
like, okay, let's go with this wheelchair, right? And then, and even though I was still in severe pain and stuff, not too long, I was like, "Fuck this wheelchair," and I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna start walking and doing whatever. And I went right back to what I was doing before I was put into the hospital.
It had a grip on you, for sure.
Yeah. And at that time, I kind of think that's, I don't know when CPS started, but I think that was towards the beginning of when they started.
The beginning of the end?
The beginning of taking children and to safety and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, from homes. I'm not sure, but and at that point, it wasn't like how it is now, where you attend Narcotics Anonymous or AA, whichever you're. They didn't say anything like that. They just said you got to stop using drugs, and you're going to go to drug court, and you're going to go to this outpatient program. And I'm like, okay, and I went to this outpatient program. And I was using, and I was testing dirty, and I didn't care at that point. It's like, I'm going to do what I can do, get those kids home. Because drugs not my problem.
Huh? Yeah, you thought you had control over this.
Yes.
So is this kind of like, is this kind of where you would consider your bottom?
I wish I could say it was my bottom. But it wasn't till a year later when it was my final bottom.
When you hit your bottom, you got clean thereafter?
How did you find Narcotics Anonymous?
Drug court.
What county? Sacramento County?
YOLO.
YOLO, okay.
Yeah, YOLO. I lived in West Sac, and I would travel to Woodland for the drug court. Yeah. Drug court back then, how they tested you was with a sweat patch. And I don't know, when I started, back up before I was put into drug court, it was the outpatient program. And then twice a week, visit the kids. And I got tested at the outpatient place. And, I tested dirty, but I got, told I could no longer come there because I couldn't stay clean. I couldn't give a clean test. And, I didn't do it, but the cops came to my place, motel at this time, and said there was a threat at this outpatient program, bomb threat, and they thought it was me because I was still using and I got dropped for program. And I don't remember if I was mean or said anything wrong to them. Maybe I did, I don't know, but I didn't never do no threats.
Bomb threat, yeah.
Yeah, so after that, at this point, I still have my two sons and my baby's in CPS custody. And that was May that he was put in CPS, May of 97. And then come around the calendar to December, and in between, I'm still using and I'm visiting my baby, but have no ideas of wanting to stop using or think that I need to, because at this point I have a home again, a house. I still have my tow business.
Everything's together.
I laugh on that because of tow business. I didn't make no money because I would tow people that I knew, and it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But so then December, it happened on December 6th of 97, which I got warnings from CPS. If you don't stop using, we're going to come take more of your children. And, and the mind says, well, it was easy for you to take the first one because I was in the hospital. He was still in the hospital. I couldn't stop you, So mentally, it was like, they can't come into my home and take my kids. There's no way. Well, they did. West Sac PD, CPS come busting through my door, take my 2 boys out of the home, put them in a car, and I got roughed up, and when things got calm and everything like that, they said, well, we're taking these 2 boys into our custody. They said, you need to stop. You're an unfit mother. You're a drug addict. You need help. And and all I can remember is like, I need to say something to my boys. I need to tell them something. And they allowed me to go out to the car, but I couldn't touch them or hold them or anything like that. But I asked my oldest son, I said, please watch over brother, because it was him and the middle son. And I said, I love you guys, and I'm going to do everything in my power to get you boys home. And then I watched them drive away. And then once they were out of sight, I broke down, and like, oh my God, what am I doing? And, which was a short form of that. Sad to say, but it was very short because, the next side is I got to get some dope because I don't want to feel this,
Yeah.
And so I remember...
had you gone to an NA meeting yet?
No. And so at this point, the house I was in, we had a house in the front and a house in the back. Teenage daughter lived back there, and then me and him were here. And we had constant fighting. There was body holes in the walls of our bedroom, and just craziness. And I remember, and of course, hardcore went deep into my addiction again, which I don't think I ever really pulled up out of my addiction that much, unless like hospital medical wise.
Right.
And I remember there was this man sleeping on our couch, and I remember hearing a big bang, like my door got busted in, right? My bedroom door, and this man like literally pulled me out of my room. It was on fire around my bed.
Oh, you shitting me.
I went to sleep smoking. and all I could say is like, why the fuck are you waking me up? Pissed, not even like, oh my God, he just saved my life, And then, I just remember like, okay, that's it. It's time to go back to sleep, And
so they put the fire out?
yeah. And the fire, it was, it didn't burn the house down or anything like that. It was just in that room in the carpet. You could see the charred carpet and everything like that. And then I went back to sleep eventually. And that's because I was always going and going and going and going and going and going nonstop. Like when you hear the meth monster, you know who the meth monster is?
Yeah.
Like you turn and there's nothing there. It pissed me off all the time.
I still do that.
It's funny. I mean, I think back now and I'm like, what the fuck?
Hallucinations. Yeah, we've all had them.
Yeah.
So get us clean.
Yes. Okay. So that was December. So then between December to April 7th is my clean date.
Uh-huh.
So
Somewhere in there.
I was starting to, they said, find a 12-step program. They didn't say find Narcotics Anonymous. They said, find a 12-step program. And I'm like, well, what is a 12-step program? And back then it was mostly like AA. They were all for AA. And I was like, okay, I'll go to Alcoholics Anonymous. High as a kite. And I was going to these meetings, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 times a week. And I was really like listening to the stories, didn't participate. I helped clean up the ashtrays. They were smoking back then. And I remember at one time during break, one of the guys at AA, he said, Anita, could you come out we would like to talk to you. And there's probably about 5 or 6 other members. And they said, Anita, we really feel you need Narcotics Anonymous. And I was like, what? What? They said, yeah, you're an addict. And I said, no, I'm not. They said, yes, you are. And so...
Denial is strong.
Right. And at this point, I heard about NA, and I drove by NA, and I seen the people outside of NA, and I said, they still use, but I didn't, but they're clean. I was pinpointing everyone that was still using. And I was like, why do I want to go to Narcotics Anonymous? If I'm supposed to get better, don't I want to go somewhere where I'm going to get better? These people are still using.
And they may not have been.
Excuses.
Some of us addicts just look like that forever.
Exactly.
And
Not everybody cleans up so well.
Right. And so I still didn't, I refused to go there, right? And I still showed up this AA meeting. I didn't, I said, well, I'll think about it. I'll get there eventually, I said, but so then between December and April, I'm visiting my boys, and they ask me every time, Mom, when are we coming home? When are we coming home? And I said the same thing every time. I'm going to do everything I can in my power to get you boys home, right? And I didn't share this for a long time in recovery when I got into recovery because the shame and guilt that I felt. But when they asked me these things, when are we coming home? I didn't feel nothing, like nothing. Didn't feel no guilt, shame, remorse, or I had no feeling because I was always fully intoxicated, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember it was a Wednesday, and they asked me again, and I said the same thing to them. I answered the same thing, but this time I had this really gut tight feeling like it was something was different, right? And I was like, why am I feeling weird? It's like, this is odd, and I later in recovery, I know what that was. That was God slapping me across, saying, wake up.
Probably a dose of guilt, shame.
Yes. Yeah. And so I remember leaving. I remember going home, and back then, their internet wasn't big then, and I remember getting to the Yellow Pages, and I found a place for recoveries. Right, there was recoveries, and there was co-ed, and then there was women's, and I chose. I don't know why. I'm glad I didn't choose co-ed because I probably would have hooked up with someone and we probably would have left and whatever. But I stuck with a woman's recovery home, and I called them, and they said, okay, don't use, and we want you to come in on Friday, bring clothing, everything that you need. Do not bring no drugs or paraphernalias. I'm like, okay, and they said. The lady said, and I want you to bring a picture that means a lot to you. Not understanding what that is. But anyway, so Friday comes, and I'm still using, didn't stop. And I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to be there at this time. I can't go. I don't want to go. I'm not going to go. Ugh. So I called them, and I gave every excuse in the book of why I couldn't come today. Like, I got to make sure the bills are paid. I got to, I wasn't paying my bills then anyways. Like, what the heck, But so the lady on the other line, she said, we're going to give you till Monday. You show up on Monday. If you do not show up, you lose your spot, right? And Monday came, and that was April 7th. And I had every reason in the book to call them again and say, okay, I can't, and then I'm like, fuck, I can't do that. I already told them every excuse that I had. I can't repeat it, right? And so I I said, okay, let's do this. I packed a suitcase, and there's a picture when I was 4 years old that I had.
Wow, you still had it.
And I don't remember why I kept this picture. I do know now, but that was the only picture that I've always had it on my wall, right? And it's of me like this. So it was so cute. Anyways, I should say she was so cute right then. And so I got dropped off at this women's recovery home right across from UC Davis Medical Center off of Stockton Boulevard. And it was a very ancient looking home. And I remember, I'm laughing at this because I remember the person who dropped me off was also an addict, and didn't literally pull into the driveway and they literally get out like on the street.
They didn't want to be out in front of a house.
And I was like, how rude, And then, it's a little hill to get up to where the office part of it was. And then the fear set in. I was like, oh, I'm scared. Like, what the hell's, what am I getting myself into, And I remember, of course, they searched my bags, and that I didn't take nothing with me. And then they showed me where my room was going to be. They laid down the rules and everything like that. And pretty much everything was just going in one and out the other. I wasn't really, at that very moment, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to change my life and everything's going to be all well and wonderful.
Still in a fog?
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember they said, you can go make your bed, unpack your bags. And I said, can I take a little nap? And they said, yeah, no problem. And I went down for 3 days. And
3 days you took a nap?
I did. And they pretty much, when I came to, they pretty much, they swore that I was coming off of heroin and stuff like that. But I've never once tried heroin in my life. And I'm like, and I was a proud prankster. I'm like, I've never used fucking heroin. I'm fucking prankster. It's like, proud of it, But anyway, so, and that's where my recovery started, was that recovery home. And we would go to outside meetings, which were AA, but, I was okay with that. There was like once in probably a month that I would go to NA, because people would come pick us up and stuff like that. And I remember, they had me on a big poster, draw a circle and with like a like what a picture of me would be, and then all around it of like, where do I want my life? Where do I want this circle to go? As
like a life storyboard.
Yeah. And, and I, of course, it was like my kids, and then getting a life and a career, and stuff like that. And that was it, which I kind of thought it was stupid. A lot of stuff back then I thought was stupid, but it's because I was unfamiliar and didn't know what was trying to be implanted, maybe, or something like that. And I remember my shyness came back, because I wasn't under the influence. And we would have meetings, and I'm like, whoa, and I started hearing familiarity, right? And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. And then people with a lot of time, I'm like, wow, that's amazing,
Was it attractive at that moment?
Not as, honestly, it wasn't at that part, but I thought it was amazing, but I still didn't quite understand how you could still live that
Stay
long
clean.
with being clean. And I remember them saying, you got to get a sponsor, you got to work the steps. And so, of course, I got me a sponsor in AA. And I know the first The first year of my recovery, I probably went through 2, maybe 3 sponsors and worked a few steps, but not thoroughly.
Yeah.
It was.
This might be a good point to take a break. Because we're going to start asking 4-step questions. We start right when you're getting clean. So we're going to take a break. We were getting onto
Well water.
No. Josh was on a tangent of how water tastes. So anyways, you're just got into recovery. You're in a rehab, and we're going to start with questions. And take it away.
Gotcha. Okay, let's start with fear. What was your biggest fear when you first found Narcotics Anonymous?
The very first fear was.
Yeah, what fear do you remember when you first, like your first meeting, your first interactions?
Mine was that my life was over.
That's pretty common.
The fear of.
Explain that one. How's it over? Like you can't use anymore?
Life as you knew it was over,
Yes.
but you didn't know that's what it was. It just felt like life
how
was
I
over.
talked about how my drug of choice was my savior, so the fear of, oh my God, I can't hide no more.
Yeah.
The fear of you're going to find out who I really am. And like, God, no one's going to like me, because I thought I was a bad person because I blamed myself of the past and then the choices that I made throughout my addiction, things that I chose to do. And mostly it was of my childhood, like I can't hide. I can't be strong. I can't be this woman who nobody can't hurt anymore. I'm going to be open, and
Vulnerable.
Yes.
That just unlocked a fear for me that I'd never really realized I had in early recovery. And it was, you said, I was afraid that everyone was going to find out who I was.
Yes.
And I remember feeling afraid that I was going to find out who I was. I didn't really I never really thought about it. When you said that, I was like, oh, that I was scared of that too, but it was the other way around.
You're going to find out you're a great big squishy moose on the inside.
Dude, I didn't know, I had no idea who I was. I was just scared. I remember being scared that I was like, there's no way I can do this. There is no way I can do this. And then when I very shortly after that, it was like, I'm not gonna like how this turns out.
Exactly. And also the fear of being known what a monster I really am.
Well, I'm a piece of shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
No good.
Do you still feel that way?
Very minimal. There's
I love that honesty. You used to have 27 years, 28 years.
Yeah. There's here and now, it's not as often that I feel like that. But if I'm alone too long
With
and
your
I'm
brain?
up here,
Yeah.
and
What would I tell you, Anita?
do the 2-foot drop.
That's funny. There's something about the commonality of that first fear. That over the years I've seen so many things are attached to that same fear. That's a very in-depth thing. Fear of finding out who I am, fear of, this is all comes under the big umbrella of fear of the unknown. This is all brand new. I have no idea what's coming. So I remember fearing all of it.
Yeah.
Very common.
Yeah.
And another fear that's very common is fear of failure.
Yes. Yes.
If I fuck this up, I'm going to go do
Yes. Yes.
prison term or suicide.
Mine would probably be suicide.
Yeah.
What's your biggest fear today? What is a fear that you're currently dealing with?
You know, there's a few, but what really just hit me strong was, let's see. I would say for the past maybe 10 years now, I am back at the point of fear of talking in meetings.
Really?
Like there was a point at the beginning of my recovery. Oh yeah, I was shy. I was shy, and it's like, and I was like, oh please don't, and then
Don't call on me.
yeah, don't call on me. But that I broke away from that. Like, I don't know, maybe like 3 years clean. And I was like, I'm down and dirty. I'm going to talk.
Getting
I
involved.
talked about and got involved, service and everything like that. But like the past 10 years, I'm still of service, right? But the past 10 years, I haven't openly spoke how bad I want to in meetings. And I'm like on the way to meet, when I go to meetings or even before, like during the day, I'm like, yes, I am going to put my name on that list. If there's a list going around,
Right.
Put my name on that list. And if I get called, I'm going to speak. And, and I'm not going to sit in the meetings and say, okay, I hope they don't call on me, stuff like that. And then I'm in a meeting, and if there's no list, I'm like listening right on with the speaker and
So you're not in your head playing what you're going to say.
exactly. But when it gets close to when they're finished, then I'm like, oh, okay, what am I going to do? I'm not brave. I just hope they don't call on me. I don't want them to call on me.
Do you feel like you're supposed to speak?
It's not that not like that. But I know speaking heals me. I know this, but I have this fear of not good enough, because when I hear their story, and even if I, what's that word? When you
Articulate?
you feel the same, you
Relate.
Resonate.
relate.
Okay.
Thank
Relate
you.
or resonate.
Relatability.
And like even if I relate to that and everything like that, it's just when it comes to the end of their story, I'm like, I'm not good enough. I ain't got nothing to say. I'm going to be
I wonder where that
judged.
comes up.
I don't know.
So it sounds like there's some work to do.
There probably is, but I don't know.
Every once in a while, I have something of that sort, like where I'm like, I don't have anything that I need to say right now. I usually pretty quickly can shut it down with like a reminder, like this is my recovery. That's mine.
Yeah.
Not anybody else's. This is mine.
Yeah, and when I'm asked to share, I'm like straight up, yeah, I'll share. But when it comes that day, I'm like so bad in here.
What you're saying for anybody that's listening, and if it's a tag meeting, we need to call on you.
I do.
I hear you.
But at can I say gratitude?
Oh yeah.
So at Gratitude Tuesday, because how we changed it, speaker's going to call one person.
Yeah,
and
it's a tag meeting.
and then don't listen to what I'm going to say. But I'm like, oh, it's going to be easy because honestly, it's usually the same people are getting picked, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get away from this. Don't do it.
She's pointing at me.
Yeah, not anymore.
But but then again, this is a good thing.
There's a handful of consistent listeners that go to that meeting.
Yes, I know. Shh, you guys didn't hear this. But I still.
She's asking for help, everybody. Help her stay clean.
That's my higher power doing for me what I can't do for myself.
Here's a perception for you, right? Because I'll go to meetings now, and before I get to the meeting, when I get to the meeting, I have decided already that I'm not going to share tonight. Like there's nothing going on in my life. There's no drama. There's no nothing. And usually I'll stick to that. Like if the speaker is speaking and they say something that really, really like brings something up for me, and if I called on, I'll share about that. But if I'm just sitting there and I get called on, I'll say, I'm going to pass tonight.
And I've heard you.
Yeah. So very rarely will I go in there going, I'm going to share tonight. Most of the time I tell myself I'm not going to share tonight.
Yeah. And when I hear you say that, to myself, I'm like, see, I could do that too.
I only share.
But yeah, I'm sorry.
You're good.
But, I'm not saying that so that I don't have to, but I could be brave. Like if I don't feel like it, I can say I'm going to pass tonight.
Yeah.
Instead of being, don't call on me,
right.
And stuff like that.
When I tell myself I'm not going to share tonight, I'm not in my head, right? And only if something really special happens during the share and I do get called on, will I share.
My higher powers is the reason I share is my higher power is like yelling at me, and I'm like I only share because I want him to stop or it to stop. I'm like, all right, fine,
I'll talk.
Yeah, and it's not as often as it used to be. So sometimes I'll be in a meeting. I'm like, dude, I haven't shared in a while. Like I should probably share something. And I'll sit there for a second. I'm like, no, I don't got nothing tonight. And that's okay.
Yep.
But I just do my best to not ignore it when it is there.
Yeah.
Like I've learned to recognize that, like, okay, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll get mad at myself after a meeting
For
not speaking.
Oh.
Like when you feel like you were supposed to.
Yeah, I felt like I really wanted to, but cut myself off.
Is it because you go into it? That's why I asked, do you feel like you have to? Like, is it because you go into it feeling like you need to? Or is it because you're in the meeting, you're like, I have something that I need to share. It's on my heart right now. And then you don't do it.
Yes.
The second one.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
That's tough.
Yeah. And it's always the reason why to that point is that, not that I'm like forever of Narcotics Anonymous, but right here says
she pointed at her
heard
brain.
me over and over. That's what that's what this is saying, and that they don't want to hear it over again. But I honestly, I do know that if I have to say it a million times, and it's going to help me, I need to say it a million times.
Or somebody else.
Yes.
I've been hearing the same old timers say the same old stupid shit since I got here.
Why are you looking at me? That's fucked up, Josh. That's real fucked up.
I was looking for a nod of approval.
Oh.
No, but you know.
Yes, I know.
Same shit. And I say same stupid shit because when you're in a meeting and you're like, here it comes, dude. They're about to say the thing they say, and then they say it, but
I do the same thing.
Fuck, dude, they're clean.
Sometimes, not to everybody.
You guys are fucked up because you're both looking at me and like,
no, but I'm looking at both of you. But I do that same thing, but not in a
drop,
hateful way. And that's why I think I judge myself on that. Because I feel someone else is thinking the same thing.
That makes sense.
I don't know.
yeah,
All right, so
that was fear.
yeah, resentment. What was the biggest resentment you had when you first got clean, and what is a resentment that you are currently dealing with today?
So my first resentment getting clean was I was still married to my son's father at that point, and my resentment was, there are two kids. They're both of those are our kids, and why am I the only one doing something? Why am I the only one in recovery?
Oh, he was still out running around.
Yes.
Got it. And he had custody?
No.
Okay.
No. That was the first husband.
Got it.
Yes, he ended up having custody. Not by the courts, but
He ended up with custody.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
But
you felt like you should have both been on the same path.
or at least him doing something.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, why am I only one fighting for this, you know?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And why are you still, you know, being able to, you know, there's resentment, and then there was a little jealousy,
Some
like
FOMO.
why, you know, he could still go use drugs, and there was little points of that at the beginning, not now. I'm like, pfft, you know, but resentful of that, that I'm doing everything in my power to work on myself to get those boys. And he did nothing at all.
I have a question
Ever.
for you. Did you resent CPS?
At the beginning,
No?
I resented them. My first resentment with them was like when I was talking about the drug court and they used a sweat patch to test us. So this sweat patch, our sweat absorbed it, and they sent it to the lab and they tested us. And when I was wearing this sweat patch, I was clean. I had been, when I first started doing that, I was, I think, 7 months clean. And anyways, every time my sweat patch went in, it came back. One time it came back, I was under the influence of heroin. And like I said, I've never used heroin in my life, you know, and it would come back dirty. And I'm like, I was
Sounds like they're unreliable.
very. And there was, and I even researched on it. And it talked about how it gave false
False
positives and stuff like that. But the thing of it is that stuck in court.
Yeah.
The dirty tests.
They didn't have UAs, urine analysis?
They did, but Yolo County said, we're going to try this instead of doing UAs.
Yeah, and they fucked over a lot of people, I'm sure.
Well, I know it fucked up my
I would
outcome.
probably have a resentment about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm going to get dirty tests, I might as well be dirty.
Yeah, and I resented
Real
that.
easy to do that early on.
I resented that
Sure.
they stuck with that and not what I was really doing. You know, I was Narcotics Anonymous. I was of service. I was sponsor meetings. I was doing, and I was loving my life, you know.
Yeah.
And everything was coming together. And the fact, and every time I'd go to court, CPS always brought me, you know, degraded. I say they degraded me because it was all false. It was nothing that they were saying was true. You know, yes, I was a drug addict. Yes, I was an unfit mother, but right here and now is a different story, you know?
Like you jumped through all the hoops and you still got burned by the system.
Yeah, and resented the fact that my kids didn't get to come home. They were adopted out.
I don't blame you.
You know?
Are you able, have you worked through that resentment?
Yes, I have. Like today.
That's great.
Today I can say, today I still say, I dislike them, but I'm grateful of CPS.
Well, they got you clean.
Yes. They're the ones that got me into the rooms, into my recovery.
Right.
The start of my recovery. Yeah. You know,
What's your biggest resentment today?
my biggest resentment today is not that I was not able to be the mother I wish I could have been to my kids. And that's been a work in progress regarding my kids.
Probably been dealing with that one for a while.
Yeah, I have a lot of kids. I have 9 kids, and then our adopted son.
You have 9 biological children?
No.
Okay.
No, the
So you have 5 kids that you birthed?
I get 5 that I birthed, and then the rest are I didn't buy courts, but I just say I adopted them.
Yeah,
and
the one you were talking about earlier, they still call you mom too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then so like out of those, the kids that call me mom, only one dislikes me, and she's an addict. And then out of my biological children, there was one that every time in her presence, it was pretty much, I felt like she was shooting daggers at me, which I know now, I wasn't there,
She had her own pain.
She has her own pain, yes.
Yeah.
And it took, I don't know, 15 years, about 15 years into my recovery, that I don't know if I should call it confronted her, but I'm visiting her. No matter what, I still went to visit her. I still called her. I still communicated with her in my recovery and stuff. And then like 15 years and she's shooting daggers at me still. And I finally said, this has got to stop. I said, I understand you have pain and your own pain, I said, but I said, I can understand if I was still an active user in my disease, I can understand you wanting to shoot me down, wanting to degrade me or whatever. I said, but it's got to stop. I said, because I have done everything in my power since the day I walked into the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous to give you what you needed from your mother.
That you had at the time?
Yes. Yeah. And so today I have awesome relationships since that,
Oh, nice.
And then...
did you express that in a way where it was like, I'm just trying to envision like where you were coming from when you did that? Were you like at a spot where like you were potentially ready to set a boundary with how much availability you had for that relationship based off how she treated you? Cool.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Like if we can't get past this, like I have to stop participating at this level because it's causing harm.
Correct.
Got it.
Yeah. And that was from working steps and stuff. And then, so like just here recently, well, it's been almost a year, my youngest son, so like when he was adopted, he never came home. He didn't know his siblings. He was straight out of the hospital into CPS and then adopted. And when I got reunited with him, he was 14. He asked his parents if they could find me, and they found me on Facebook. But I've seen them outside in
the
world, and I was like there and they're over here not seeing me, and I did not, because it wasn't my place to step in yet.
Yeah, so you didn't go find him.
Correct.
You left it up to him to find you.
My idea was when any of my boys turned 18, I was going to go find them.
Oh, okay.
I did that with my two oldest boys, and I went and found them. But my youngest, his parents messaged me, and then we met up. We got reunited, and so mine and his relationship grew. It was beautiful. We would either call, we would text, we would meet up for lunch, for dinner, we would go places. Not since almost a year ago.
Oh.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, I would send out a message. I send to all my kids a message every morning. A spring...
Uplifting?
Uplifting, And
Gotcha.
He texted back, he said, I want you to stop texting me. I don't want you to call me. I don't want you to be in contact with me and until I feel like I'm ready. And this was from 14 to 25, he's 29, 27, 28.
Good for him doing that at 14. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
It's pretty good awareness.
Yes. Yeah. And then just almost a year ago, and he does that, and I'm like, I'm crushed, I'm hurt, I'm confused, I still don't know why,
Time.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about that is you don't have to. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, and I have I have done what he's asked, even though it's painful for me. But like what working the steps and in my working steps had taught me regarding my kids, it's not about me anymore. It's about them. It's what their choices they want. If they want a relationship with me, yay, but if like how he's choosing right now, I will honor what he wants. And that's so, yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's pretty good. That's resentments.
Yeah.
Here's resentments,
Reservations. Yeah. What was if you had any, what was your reservations what was your biggest reservation when you got clean? And then do you currently have any, or are you currently dealing with anybody? Some people don't have like a very, like they don't have them. They're just like, when they finally get clean, they're like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm here.
I do, but just to spark my mind, can you give a little example of a reservation?
Sure, yeah. So an easy one would be like if one of my kids dies, like I don't know if I can get through that clean, or if this person gets out of prison, I'll probably get loaded, or if somebody says the wrong thing to me, I might hurt them.
Yes. So that would be in my recovery is regarding my sons. It's like if my boys were not coming home, they were not going to be able to come home and live with me, I was going to end my life. And I've said this in meetings before, thank God for Narcotics Anonymous, because the day the courts denied me my rights, I was going to go home and get the gun and blow my brains. And but Narcotics Anonymous was with me at the courthouse, and I remember walking out of the courthouse. I even thought, that my boys were coming home, and I walked out of the courthouse, and everybody's like, I just went like this, and I remember putting on masks.
So everybody was about to cheer, and then you like cut them off.
I just like that, and I wanted to, just walk past and go. I wanted to just get past them, but they like literally circled me, and they saved me that day. And I believe that was my higher power working, and but the resentment is that I was going to kill myself. Reservation. Yes, that if my boys weren't coming home, that I was done. I was done. And, I remember, though, also, it's like went into, they took me to a meeting that very day. They would not leave me alone.
Yeah.
They would not leave me alone. I'm like, and I had that mask on, like everything's all fine and dandy. I'm okay. But
you can't hide the addict from an addict.
You can't. That's what I learned in Narcotics Anonymous, and I'm so grateful for that, because I could say so much to you, but you can see right here and see right through me. There's something going on. And that's what I'm really grateful of the members of Narcotics Anonymous because of that fact.
That was the early reservation.
Yes.
What about a reservation today? And just, it doesn't have to be like, oh, if this happens, I'm going to get loaded. It could be this happens and you take an action. Like you said, suicide, but it could be like, if this person does this thing to me, I am going to, drive him off a cliff or act out in violence or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. The only other one I would say would regarding the sperm donor, because I carried into my recovery. He was still alive until the day he died, and
that reservation,
that it was gone finally. Because if he ever got out, and because there was other siblings from another woman, and it's like, and then I told my older siblings, I said, if you ever talk to him, if you ever, and I never said why. I just said, do not let him know where I live. do not let him know nothing of me, and stuff like that. But the day he died, I got the word that he died. It was like that boulder
Yeah.
just crumbled and was gone.
What a relief.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he die in prison?
No.
He got out and died?
He got out, released. And
He was a serial rapist.
Yeah. He got released. That was like, I don't know, 30 plus years.
All right.
They were, I guess, done. But yeah, he died, and I'm glad. I'm grateful.
That's what I was saying earlier. Some people need to go.
Yes.
Yep, he's
Yes.
one of them.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah.
Not that it's up for any of us to decide, but
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah. Oh, I thank God. I said, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt that way about the guy that molested me. He ended up dying in prison. And they had found that he molested 100 kids in juvenile hall. So yeah, he's one of those guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's reservations, fears, resentments.
Reservation today.
Reservation?
Yeah, anything today.
That you might act out on.
I don't think I have any, like as of today, because I know, I survived my kids not coming home. I survived my grandmother, who pretty much was my rock, who took care of me when she passed away. I survived it. My dad, the man who, I fucking love that man so much. The man who loved me, even though I wasn't his, treated me like a daughter should be treated, and was always there. That was hard, and and I survived his death, but like maybe like I used to think like if one of my children, which would hurt tremendously, but today I really don't think I would do something to myself if I, knock on wood, that doesn't happen before me, but that if anything happened to any of them, I would be okay. Today I'm
It's a good place to be.
yeah.
Place to
You
be.
can't complain about that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Assets?
Yeah, let's do some assets. Yeah.
Come on.
Yes.
Give me that face.
I make that face because I didn't know what the hell an asset was.
That's great. It's a good way to start this
I
portion.
did not, and like, I remember I don't know what number she was, but one of my sponsors, she would tell me these assets that I have, and I'm like, really? I don't know. I don't think that. She goes, you will. You will. But are you asking me what are my assets?
I would like you to list your assets.
That I know of today?
Yeah, that you of
Come
your
on,
assets.
stop stalling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk nice to yourself.
So
She's stalling for sure.
so today
Of me, the ones I have today. You want me to discuss my assets?
because before it was
No,
like
no, no.
what
I'm
you
talking
thought
right now.
Right
No,
now.
yeah, you.
So today my assets today is that I am beautiful.
Fuck yeah.
I'm worthy.
Nice.
I am I'm brave. Partially.
No, you are. You can say it.
Partially because sometimes I still get scared, but I am brave, I persevere, I didn't even, when someone said, that was the first
Perseverance.
asset, perseverance.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, I've never heard that word in my life. And then they said that. And I went, okay, I can connect to that. Stop it.
I know.
So, but yeah, considered back then, today, I know, again, I am worthy, I'm beautiful, and I'm courageous, and that I'm not, I don't give up,
Can I tell you one thing?
Determined.
That,
Yes.
That the very first asset that comes to mind when I think of you?
What?
Kind.
I feel the same way.
Oh, I was gonna. Yeah.
I think the same thing.
I think that
Very kind-hearted.
Love and kindness is your strongest assets.
Yes.
Others are great and super important too, but you're a safe, kind,
soft,
loving. Yeah,
There's like you have a very soft energy. Like your presence is very soft. It makes it very easy to be around you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
very true.
I agree on
Very
that.
true.
Yeah. And on another note of that, speakers and meetings, the ones that are like that, I'm like, oh, I wish I was like that.
You mean like powerful? And,
like badass. Like,
yeah.
like,
My friend Eddie, he's like, some of us can pontificate very well.
Okay.
And I had to look up pontificate.
Yeah.
Like, that motherfucker has got some words.
I've never heard that one either.
Pontification.
He's very good at oratory speech. Yeah. Very good at it.
What's the meaning of that?
Just how you are able to put words together in sentences.
Oh,
and
okay,
it's very smooth. And when you're telling your share at a meeting, it's just rolls, And some people are super good at that. Me, ADHD, fuck, I'm all over the world, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
To speak or express opinions in a way that is overly authoritative, pompous, or self-important, especially when acting as though you are an unquestionable expert.
What? So which word is that?
Pontificate.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So an expert. Anyways,
Yeah.
so that
Yes.
asset, you're kind and loving and caring, and you don't need to be the world's best speaker, because the truth is, as quiet as it's kept, your actions speak louder than words.
Yes. True. I
I know people that can talk long game, and people will go, "Oh, he's so great," or "She's so great," and she's like, she helps so many people, and then 6 months later, they'll go, "Oh, well, she's kind of a bitch," or "What? He's such a dick." So, I mean, because they watched for 6 months the actions,
Right.
and it's sad that it's that way, but that's how we learn who's safe and who's not.
I was just talking about this with Sadie. There's somebody that she struggles with and used to be close with. And she's like, I don't know what happened. I was like, well, you hung out long enough.
Could be.
You hung out long enough. She's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, you found their true self.
Yeah. You can only
Mask it for so long.
Yeah, you can only tell people what you think they need to hear for so long.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's why the people around me are authentic people. Like you.
Thank you.
So assets, and then
Spirituality.
yeah. We talk about whatever your spirituality is. There's no breaking up traditions. This is not a NA sponsor.
Yeah, what's your higher power?
God.
And
Today.
Can you describe to me what God is for you, or describe to us?
So like today, he's like my best friend.
It's a he.
Yes, it is.
God
a
is
he.
a he? Okay.
Yes, it is a he, and it's not a religious God. I mean, I went to church when I was younger and everything, but it's nothing to do with religion. Not that that's wrong or anything, but mine's not a religious.
We get to have
God.
whatever higher power we want.
Yeah, and this one, my higher power, as I said, my best friend, because even today, my most peaceful time is when I'm driving by myself, because that's when I have conversations with him.
Okay.
I tried, how they say, drop to your knees or put the keys on the floor, whatever. That's not me, and mine is that I have conversations of things that are happening, what's going on in my life, how I'm feeling. And sometimes I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Really? Like, I don't
Do you have a because you're looking up and I go, do you have a perception that God is in heaven?
No,
and heaven is
he's
above
just
you?
above me. He's
Above
higher
you.
than me.
Okay.
Not, I mean, I believe there's
Literally
heaven
a
and
higher
hell,
power.
but I just believe, I look up because he's above me.
Yeah.
He's higher than me. But, you know, and then there's sometimes where I'm having arguments with him. Like, dude, no, this is not how we're going to do this, or this is not how I want to feel today, or, you know, or something like that, you know. So it's like a really good friendship that I can argue or I can be, you know, at peace, you know.
My brother told me the other day, he has his own struggles like we do, and he's been on a good path most recently, and he said he's been spending a lot of time with God, and he told me I expressed to him that I prayed out loud, like actually was speaking, praying. And he said, that's funny. When you called, I was in the middle of talking to God, and I told him, oh, hey, my brother's calling. Hold on, I'll get back with you in a second.
See, now that sounds, yes, something like I would.
An air of familiarity about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
so casually, just like, that's my brother. I have to take this.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I started laughing. I was like, you need help, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm open to whatever your higher power is, however you seek it or get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just hope that everybody can find a high power.
Yeah. I mean, before recovery, I hated the sound of God, or I just, because, I mean, I've
Same.
heard it's like, how could you allow all this to happen
Exactly.
to me?
Exactly.
Like, how could you? Where were you?
Because it had to.
Yeah.
Well, whatever that is for them, you know,
Yeah.
they'll figure that out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes we don't ever figure it out.
True.
Yes.
True.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
that third step. Part.
Sometimes it's not our business to know.
Yeah. Whenever I get to that point in whatever I'm going through is like, okay,
Yeah.
third step, I'm not in charge. And it's like, I probably don't ever need to know. Right, Josh?
Yeah, it's easier that way.
So higher power,
When you think, go ahead.
I was going to say, how are you showing your gratitude today? What are you doing to show gratitude, or what are you grateful for, or however you want to answer the question?
Showing gratitude is by staying focused just in my life period, you know. A gratitude is no matter what goes on in here,
In your brain.
that I could say shut the fuck up today and not let it control me like every second of every hour of every day, you know. I'm my gratitude is like I talked earlier, that I don't speak that much in meetings, but if I'm called on, I do speak, you know, and I'm grateful that I can share when I'm asked to share.
Yeah.
I don't always get to share when I want to share.
Ooh, big difference.
Big difference.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I get to be a mother to all my kids.
Nice.
You know, I'm grateful, and oh my gosh, I have great grandkids now. I'm grateful that I get to.
Wait. You have great
I
grandkids?
do. I do.
I don't even have grandkids.
I have 2 great grandkids.
All right.
2. Yes, my grandson Jeremiah and my grandson Marcus. Both Marcus had a boy and Jeremiah had a girl.
That's kind of cool.
Yes. So yeah, I'm grateful I to be present today.
All right.
In all areas of my life, you know. So, what
It sounds like you're grateful that the way you show your gratitude is by being able to show up for life.
Yes,
Being available for others.
Absolutely. Yes.
When you think about your experience with the 4-step, to be more specific, if you think about each time, whether it's one time or 20 times that you've worked the 4-step, if you could kind of compile your experience and tell us what your biggest takeaway from that experience or the process has been.
So I've worked 4-step many times, and I could say it was the 4th time going through the steps, the 4-step, I would say. I've worked it in all different forms that you can. This one was out of the flat book.
It's a step working guide. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And remember, my sponsor was like where you were at. She was on this side, and on my right side. Yeah, and we were going over the 4-step, and I worked a few with her before, you know. And that one question, I think it's the last question, maybe on that list. It asks, "Is there anything that you have not
told your sponsor
answered in these this question that you would like to just speak about?"
Yeah.
And
Are
so
you holding on to any secrets?
Yeah, pretty much, you know. And I remember before I answered or anything, she said, "Let's just sit here and be, you know, close our eyes and be quiet and just think." And I said, "Okay," you know, and I closed my eyes and just like, it was going crazy in here. It was like, oh, like little ants just going everywhere.
So your brain was going off.
It was, and it felt like forever, right? And I remember feeling this warmness come down my face, a little tear. And I was like, oh, not out. This ain't out loud. This is all in my head. Yeah. I'm like, fuck, she's going to know I'm fucking lying. No, oh my God. And after I said that, I opened my eyes and just bleh, and I threw up all over her. Not literally.
No, you told her all your secrets?
It was that one secret. There's one secret that I hadn't, except my grandmother, I told. And that was him.
Oh, yeah.
And now you've told everybody.
And yes. and I brought that out, and she said, "Okay, honey." She goes, "How do you feel?" "I feel good." You know, and started crying.
I love
more,
that.
You know, and
not
honestly,
everybody gets that. Like,
no, and that was the very first time that I had cried in someone related to recovery, because
in their presence, you mean?
Yes, because, you know, like I would speak in meetings. There was no tearful at that point, you know, because I
get it.
No one's going to see me cry. I'm not going to break down and get weak and, you know, stuff like that. But
it takes a good mix of stuff.
Yeah.
To be like, your sponsor has to feel safe. Mm-hmm. You have to have experienced enough pain and be willing enough and aware enough to like identify it, and then brave enough to share it. And like, there's so many things that have to all come together at the right time.
Yes.
And so many people, like I said, that they just never get that experience.
Yes. It's
powerful.
Yeah. And so she said, "Okay, I'm going to give you an assignment regarding this." I said, okay. And she said, "You know that picture of you as that little girl that you have in your house?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Go make duplicates." I'm like, "Okay, why?" And she said, "I want you to put it in each picture in a frame and put it all over your house. Put that picture all over your house. And I want you to stand in front of the mirror and tell positive affirmation to yourself." And I'm like, "Okay." And then she said, "And I want you to sit down. I want you to pray to your higher power, and I want you to write a letter to that little girl." And I was like, "Oh, okay,
That
this
sounded
is
all
weird.
foreign to you. Yeah.
I'm like, this is weird. She goes, just do it. And I'm like, what am I supposed to say to her? She goes, just get quiet, talk to your higher power, and something will happen. I'm like, okay. So I didn't do that first. I did the pictures and I did looking in the mirror, the very first,
Dude, that's
probably
so
the
hard.
first, this is what I did. I said, okay, this is going to be fucking weird. I said, don't laugh. I'm talking to myself.
I
right?
was just gonna say that's what you're saying.
Saying to myself. And I said, okay, you're lovely. You're loved. You're beautiful. I'm like,
Would that would
making
have
the-
freaked you out if the person in the mirror was laughing back at you?
yes, it would, but
Freaked me out.
I felt so uncomfortable and like, this is weird. I even made faces that were weird,
I felt the same way.
And then so the pictures was anytime, like there's one there, there's one, you stop and you look that little girl in the face and you tell her that she's beautiful and you love her and she's worthy. And that I had no problem with. Because I wasn't really, I knew I knew that was me younger, but I wasn't like, as I was talking to myself, I was easing a little girl's pain, right? And then so after that is when it came down to writing that letter, and I'm like fighting it, and I said, okay, let's do what she said. Just close your eyes, just get peaceful, talk to your higher power. Please give me the courage. Let me whatever I need to do, right? And so, and I wrote a 3-page letter, and not word for word detail, but like the very beginning is that I said, I'm sorry I couldn't save you then, but I'm trying to save you now.
Oh, that's good.
No. And then and then it just flowed.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
And that relief when I was finished
That's
was
powerful. That's making me emotional thinking
was
about that. That's good.
it was what I was searching for my whole life, my whole life. And from that is like, my life changed. My thinking changed. My feelings changed, I didn't feel alone. I felt loved, I felt safe. And then, what changed is, prior to that is like every relationship that I got into was toxic,
Yeah.
very toxic. And then the very first relationship I got into after that fact, I'm still with today,
That's crazy.
No, yeah.
What a hope shot
Yeah.
for people listening.
It's, oh my God, it was just something that I wanted my whole life. So my whole life, I just wanted to be loved, right? Just wanted to be loved. Never spoke out about it. Never told anybody. I just want someone to love me. This is to myself. And after I wrote that letter to my little 4-year-old girl, I finally found what I was looking for my whole life. And that was the love, the love of my life. And that love of my life was loving myself. And I finally got what I've always wanted.
That's an awesome story.
Sam had me put a post note on mirror and it said, "You may not believe it yet, but I love you." And
That's big too.
yeah, I'm thinking about it right now. I'm about to start crying, but it didn't, like, the process of like the actual period of time where I was doing that, it didn't hit for me, but it showed up later where I was like, oh shit, that's where it's like my brain, like logically it was like back to the mirror. And I was like, whoa, holy shit. I love me.
Yes.
Wow.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah. I thought it was stupid when I was doing it. It was like, I was like, this is dumb. I just stand there and do it. And I did my best, just didn't hit till later. It's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
It is cool.
I'm sorry I couldn't save you then, but I'm trying to save you now. Like my little Josh needs to fucking hear that, It's powerful. It's a good one.
Yes.
So just for clarity, your home group is
Gratitude Tuesday.
Yeah, which is also one of my home groups, and that's
You have more than one home group?
yeah, I do. I have 2 home groups.
Sunday night and Tuesday night?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
Tuesday night Gratitude Tuesdays in Folsom, California, at 6:30 to 7:30.
1100 Blue Ravine Road.
Yeah, and the cool thing about, like, we were talking about, like, sharing at a meeting. That particular meeting, we all go out to dinner afterwards.
Yes.
So there's always these recovery conversations at dinner too. And so I was thinking when you were talking about that, it's like that thing that you wanted to bring up during the discussion at the meeting gets brought up during dinner.
Yes, it does.
And so there's always an opportunity to share.
Yes, and and I was speaking. I honestly don't remember who I was speaking with, but I was talking about gratitude. Oh, it was someone I haven't seen in a while, and he said, in fact, it was my cousin, and he said, "So where are you doing meetings now?" I said, "In Folsom," and I said, I have a new home group because before I was homeless because I didn't have home group.
Groupless.
Yes. And then I was speaking, I spoke how, like, when you walk into the meeting hall of Gratitude Tuesday, like, everybody, even if you first day there and everybody introduces themselves and everybody's like, I love that. It's not like you go in and you have them over there and them,
Yeah.
groupies, something like that. Anyways, I resent groupies. I do. But anyways, because everybody should love everybody.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and like on the flip side for me is, even with the amount of time I have clean, I still have high social anxiety, and it takes a lot for me to actually get into my heart when I'm in a social setting. And to, like, I'll go to a newcomer and introduce myself and introduce the newcomer to other people and welcome them in. But I'm working. I'm working on that. Not on that, but I'm like, it doesn't flow easy for me.
You're having to work through it.
Yeah, through the anxiety. Correct.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm very social, but it's tough. I have to know you and trust you.
I struggle with it every meeting I'm in. I think that I know for me it's really, really a gift when I don't have that in a meeting. Like when I don't have it in social settings,
Anxiety,
period. Yeah. It really happens when there's whatever the limit is for me, when there's too many people in the room. It just, my senses are just, they go haywire, and I'm like, fuck it. Everybody's anxiety is my anxiety. I have anxiety. There's anxiety everywhere. I can't handle anything. I don't know what to do.
Dude, you should have seen yesterday. I think there are like 70 people. We had
Clean time celebration.
in our backyard.
Kevin had 40 years.
No, Sam had 20 years.
Yeah.
He's celebrating Sam.
And Kevin, who had 40.
But anyways, we have all these people in our backyard, right? And I'm looking around, like I'm sitting with Gabe and Anita, and and then I go make my rounds. But we're looking around, and like there's so many people here, but like I look around and I go, oh, I love that person.
Everybody's safe.
And like everybody I'm looking at, and my head's going across the whole backyard. I'm like, these are the people that I've gathered around that are safe people. And it's fucking amazing that there's so many of these safe people in our lives.
Yes.
And I think the same thing when we walk into Gratitude Tuesdays, because that meeting was formed with that in mind. The intention was that this is going to be a meeting where everybody's safe,
Yes.
and everybody's social, and we're going to be together. It's not going to be cliques,
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, a lot of love in that meeting.
There is.
Okay, so there's a couple things before we end. Do you have consequences from your past that you're living with today? You told us about your kids. Is there other stuff?
Consequences?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have any like diseases or anything.
Felonies
that's
that you can't get a job.
That's like just examples.
No felonies. Maybe health-wise.
Yeah, well, most
I
of us.
had hepatitis C, which, I
Did you ever do the,
interferon.
yeah?
I did. That was a crazy time.
What? Well, there's a new drug out, right?
It was before the new drug.
Yeah.
That I did it, and it made me get psychotic. I had to call a few people to come stay with me because some like crazy thoughts to
your
do
head?
crazy shit happened to me.
Yeah, I heard some bad stuff about interference.
Yeah.
You got through it. Hep C is in remission.
I get tested every year,
Right
and
on.
everything's still good.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's not as bad as some people.
Yeah. No. No.
Is it story time?
Yeah, and we already talked about shame and guilt, so that's cool. Yeah. Story time. I gave her a heads up, that it could be anything crazy, psycho, or uplifting at any point. She had one really crazy thing that happened. You still thinking about it?
I remember one of them. This other one right now, I'm forgetting right now.
Well,
The
tell us what
real
you got.
crazy one, but it's going to come, I
All right.
think. I hope. But there was, okay, this is when I was a little kid. I was about 6 years old, maybe. And, oh yeah, I remember the one is now too.
Do you want to do that one now?
No, I'll
Okay.
do that one last.
All right.
That's more. Anyway, so when I was, and anyways, my dad, he's had his own roofing company, and he would take me on his jobs with him and stuff like that. Do you remember Underdog,
No. What is that?
the character?
Oh, Underdog. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. The cartoon.
Do you know who he is?
Red cape.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So
loved Underdog.
Underdog was our, on our
Generation.
TV channels.
Yeah, that's a generation.
And
Don't ask me how I know about it.
so I was one time, and it was just warehouses. It wasn't like really way up on houses, tall houses and stuff
Okay.
like that. So it was a one-story warehouse and stuff. But I went to work with Dad, and I don't know, I was in La La Land in my head or something. I don't know. But I said, Dad, I'm going to play Underdog. And I flew off the roof.
No way. You
Yes.
jumped off the roof
Yeah.
at 6?
And yes, and there was
6 or 7?
gravel, the grounds was gravel and everything. I had a little, I still have a scar right here, but I had a little rocking bed in there. And he's like, what? I was in trouble.
Scared the shit out of him.
I didn't get spanked or anything like that, but he's like, what?
You didn't need to. You jumped off of a roof.
I know, but if it was someone else, I probably would have got beat. But he was like, and I just laughed at now, like, what the hell was
Was it
that?
like flat ground?
No, it was gravel road,
Yeah, but was it flat? Was it sloped?
it was flat.
So you just
I
plopped.
was
Yeah,
I was
you're
going to go
underdog.
save the world.
I guess that's what happens when you take a six-year-old that's done with crank on a roof.
Yes.
Holy
So-
shit.
Yes. That one is
Did you have a cape on?
I did not, but I visioned I did.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
You did.
I thought
You had a
I could
little
fly
red
like
cape.
him.
Yeah.
I really thought I could fly
Well,
like
no,
him.
we told you you couldn't. Yeah.
No, that's true. That's true.
All right, what's the crazy one?
So the crazy one in my addiction. Okay, so I was a nighttime criminal, I robbed laundry machines at apartment complexes. And I wasn't having a good night, and here's the apartment complex, and right next door was a thrift store, right? And, and I knew other people that did this too. And, but, whatever, I'm going to do it. And it was like, I don't know, probably November or something. I can't remember exactly. But I was behind this thrift store in their dumpster because what they don't sell, they throw in this dumpster. So there's like full of items, right? And so I was probably in there for like a few hours,
Tweaking.
Yes, I was fucking tweaking.
Looking for the good shit.
Exactly, right? And so, but I remember, prior to that, there was a few other people that used to go to that one too. And they said, well, you got to make sure you're out of there before they open up. Because, once they come out the back door, like if they're going to do something and they catch you there, they're going to call the police and you get da-da-da. So I'm tweaking, right, in this dumpster. And I'm like finding shit. Not really, but at the time it was good.
For a prankster?
Yes.
Everything's good shit.
And so all of a sudden I heard
But the good shit changes from day to day.
Yes. So I heard the back door getting ready to open, and I said, and I went as low as I could, and I was just sitting in, I don't know what was underneath me and I, there was a few things over me, but this was a tall, like, it wasn't where you stand and you could see in it. It was tall.
Oh, okay.
And so, and then there was, I think, 2 workers, they were smoking cigarettes, and I heard them having conversations, right? And I'm just sitting here like quiet, not moving, not doing anything. And my head's saying, fuck, you guys, hurry up, get out of here. I want to fucking leave, right? And then all of a sudden I hear this beep, beep.
Oh, shit.
Beep. And I'm like, and it's getting closer, right? Beep, beep. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I said, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? They're going to fucking, oh my God, is it a garbage truck, right? To come. And I'm like, oh shit. And then what I did, just as before it got fully in, the arms in there, I went like this. They were up on me and stuff went flying. And I went, and then I.
Wait. Because people are listening, they don't know what
they
you just did.
They don't know I'm in there.
No. I mean, on the podcast, they're
I'm sorry.
listening
You pretended that you yawned like you were just waking
I
up?
stretched my arms out, and then I looked at my wrist like there was a watch there, but there wasn't. And then I looked at it, and I literally did a flip out of the dumpster and went.
Started running?
Running. And then after the fact, I'm like, I probably scared the fuck out of those people, right?
Yeah.
They're like... just a vision of their faces, but that was the most craziest thing I've ever had to do.
Dude, I can imagine. I'm thinking about that. I'm gonna imagine like Anita's like jumping out of the dumpster like a rat, it's like Gollum, like.
Yeah, she thought it was all slick, like looking at skin watch.
Yeah.
and just like, oh, I was sleeping. I'll just probably check the time real quick. I'm gonna hop out of here, no big deal. But probably was like, yeah.
That would have scared me.
Yeah, you've been digging around in a dumpster for 6 hours. All of a sudden, the sun's up and people are there. You're like, oh fuck.
Yes, exactly.
That's been there, not in a dumpster, but I know the feeling.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that's a good one. Damn,
it was
girl.
Crazy. Yeah, and just on a minor crazy. I said how I stole from laundry machines and stuff like that. At the end of my addiction, paranoia, and stuff like that kicked in, and I remember breaking into the laundry rooms, closing it, and then like at the door, there's about a little crack like this, and I would concrete ground, probably 1,000 feet, people's feet's been walked on it and everything, but I would lay on the ground and be like this, looking under the crack for hours. I would say an hour, maybe, waiting to make sure I don't see no feet walking, so then I can go and do what I do.
Tweaker.
Yes.
Yeah. That's just
make sure nobody saw you go in.
Yes. Yeah.
Typical tweaker shit.
Dude.
Yeah.
I've spent so much time in windows, dude.
Peeking out.
So much time. Windows, doors. Eventually, I just get tired of it, and I'll just shut off power to the whole property, and I just start hunting whatever's outside.
Oh, yeah. You shared stories about you
Yeah.
out in the hills of Chico.
Oh, yeah. Forest Ranch, yeah.
All right, Anita. Well, thanks for those good stories.
Yeah, thanks for coming
that
and
was funny.
just sharing.
Yeah.
Did it ease up for you after you got moving a little bit?
Oh, yeah, she did.
It did, but like right now I'm shaky. My hands are shaky.
Why?
I don't know.
Dude, when you were talking, I was watching you, and you were like in your groove.
I know.
Yeah, you did great.
Thank you.
I think
Yeah.
you did great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. Love you guys.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for hanging out with us today. We really appreciate you being here and being part of this community. Just a quick heads up before we wrap. The people we talk to on this show are just sharing their own personal stories. They do not speak for any specific recovery program or group. It's just their experience, strength, and hope. Well, that's it for now, and please remember that you can follow us on any of your streaming platform that you listen to. And somewhere in there, on that streaming platform, there is a donate button if you care to help out with our monthly fees that we have to pay to produce each episode. And there's a follow button. There's also somewhere on your streaming platform you can text us and send us a response or email or check-in. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you.